Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling something pretty much all of us struggle with at some point. How to eat better without feeling completely miserable and deprived. We're going to go on a really fascinating journey today, starting from that everyday struggle of cutting out empty calories, all the way to exploring the absolute wild extremes of candy bar diets. We'll be focusing specifically on hacking those cravings with 8 simple, nutrient-dense swaps. Okay, let's dive right in. Here is what we're covering today. First, the empty calorie trap. 2. 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps. 3. The candy bar conundrum. 4. Extreme diets versus flexibility. And 5. Sweets without the guilt. Section 1. The empty calorie trap. So, we all know the struggle, right? Wanting to optimize our nutrition without feeling like we're being punished. But the truth is, the problem really isn't the act of snacking itself, it's empty calories. These are calories that give you energy, sure, but they offer very little in terms of actual nutrition. They are primarily coming from added sugars and saturated fats. And when you fill up on these, you aren't providing your body with the essential vitamins, minerals, or macronutrients it craves. Instead, you're literally just filling your stomach with high-calorie, high-fat foods, leaving absolutely no room or appetite for the stuff your body actually needs to thrive. Just look at the stark contrast here. On one hand, we have nutrient-poor choices: soda, greasy potato chips, and fried chicken. These are loaded with things that spike your blood pressure and increase your risk of heart disease. But on the other hand, we've got nutrient-dense alternatives: sparkling water with fruit, air-popped popcorn, and air-fried chicken. Now, the calorie count might actually be similar sometimes, but the nutritional value is completely transformed. It's a real game changer. A simple adjustment changes everything about how your body processes that exact same food. Moving right along to Section 2, 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps. Upgrading your diet is all about swapping, not starving. It's about finding things that hit that exact same craving but actually deliver real value to your body. So here are our 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps that you can actually start making today. First up, drinks. Trade that soda for sparkling water with a splash of 100% fruit juice. You get the fun fizz without that massive sugar crash. For breakfast, ditch the sugary morning cereal for oatmeal with fresh berries. Oatmeal is a literal fiber powerhouse that's going to keep you full and help manage cholesterol. Craving a snack? Swap those greasy potato chips for air-popped popcorn. It's actually a whole grain. Just skip the heavy butter and season it with some olive oil and spices like black pepper or garlic powder. Now, what about candy bars? Trade milk chocolate for 70% dark chocolate. You'll get a great hit of antioxidants while still satisfying that sweet tooth. For meals, upgrade your deep-fried chicken to air-fried chicken. This drastically cuts the saturated fats while keeping that amazing, crunchy texture. And here is a massive hack. Replace sour cream with plain Greek yogurt. It perfectly mimics the creamy texture but packs your meal with protein and probiotics. Finally, for dessert, replace heavily refined baked goods with a homemade fruit crumble using rolled oats, and swap store-bought milkshakes for homemade smoothies using almond milk and frozen bananas. Boom! 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps, 0 starvation, and a massive, massive upgrade to your daily nutrition. Section 3. The candy bar conundrum. Now, out of all those swaps we just talked about, sweets are notoriously the hardest to give up, for sure. And there is real science and deep psychology behind why we crave them so intensely. Take a look at that massive number, 250. That is the number of calories in a single, standard 1.86-ounce Snickers bar. Within those 250 calories, you're getting 27 grams of sugar and 12 grams of fat. It is the ultimate calorie-dense trap. It eats up a huge percentage of a daily calorie budget while providing pretty much 0 long-term satiety. You eat it, and you're hungry again an hour later. But here is where the hard science gets absolutely fascinating. You've got the glycemic index, or GI, which measures how quickly foods spike your blood sugar. Pure table sugar has a GI of 65. But surprisingly, a Snickers bar actually has a relatively low GI of 40. Wait, no way, right? Why is that? Well, it's because of the peanuts. The peanuts themselves have a really low GI of 15, and their fat and protein content actually slows down the absorption of the sugar into your bloodstream. This perfectly grounds the emotional topic of cravings into hard science. It completely explains why a candy bar feels like a somewhat sustainable energy source in the moment, even though it's completely packed with empty calories. All right, Section 4, Extreme Diets versus Flexibility. This whole GI thing brings up a pretty wild scientific question. If a Snickers bar actually has a low glycemic index, and weight loss is essentially just about calories in versus calories out, Could you theoretically eat pure junk food and still lose weight? To answer that, we have two incredible case studies right from the fitness world. First, we have the extreme approach. A fitness coach named Stenning Fitness ate 2,400 calories a day, but exclusively from Snickers bars and Snickers protein shakes, for 30 whole days. And guess what? He lost 12.5 kilos, proving that yes, calorie restriction dictates weight loss. But his body composition was absolutely terrible. He lost muscle, his testosterone plummeted, and he felt physically sick. Now, contrast that with the flexible approach by fitness experts So He Fit. She prepped for a bodybuilding show over 10 weeks using a flexible macro diet. She ate nutrient-dense whole foods, but deliberately ate exactly one Snickers bar every single day, just to curb her cravings. The result? She lost body fat, she retained her muscle, and she literally won her IFPA Pro Fitness card. Incredible, right? And the difference in how they felt is perfectly captured right here. Just listen to this quote from Stenning Fitness during his all Snickers experiment. "I feel like absolute crap. I've lost loads of muscle tissue as well. I feel extremely weak physically and mentally." While counting his calories successfully controlled his weight, the total lack of food quality completely destroyed how he actually felt day to day. So the absolute crucial takeaway is this. Total calorie intake controls your body composition, meaning whether you lose or gain weight. But food quality, that controls your energy, your focus, your mental health, and your long-term bodily health. You can absolutely lose weight eating junk, but you are going to feel miserable. And that is exactly why those 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps we talked about earlier are so absolutely vital to making healthy eating sustainable over the long haul. Section 5. Sweets without the guilt. Let's bring this all back to reality. You want to hit your nutritional goals, you understand that food quality matters, but come on, you still have a raging sweet tooth. What are your real-world alternatives? Well, if you absolutely must have that exact candy bar flavor, look at this massive macronutrient upgrade. A standard Snickers, as we mentioned, has around 2 grams of protein and roughly 28 grams of sugar. But a Snickers high-protein bar completely flips the script. It delivers 20 grams of protein and only 4 grams of sugar. It's such a brilliant way to hack the craving, hit your protein goals for the day, and completely avoid that massive empty-calorie sugar crash. But hey, if you want to go the whole food route, you have got to check out this viral, completely homemade healthy Snickers recipe. This empowers you to make a nutrient-dense snack right in your very own kitchen. It's super simple. Step 1, take some dates and remove the pits. Dates are naturally super sweet, but they're packed with wonderful fiber. Step 2, stuff those dates with peanut butter and crushed walnuts to get your healthy fats and proteins. Step 3, coat them in melted chocolate mixed with just a tiny bit of oil. Step 4, sprinkle them with some flaky sea salt and just pop them in the freezer until they're set. It is a wonderfully decadent, rich treat that perfectly satisfies that candy craving, but relies entirely on whole, high-quality ingredients. So, we've seen the hard science, we've looked at the wild extreme experiments, and we've walked through 8 simple nutrient-dense swaps to completely upgrade your daily nutrition without starving yourself. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this final thought. If food quality truly controls our energy, our focus, and our long-term health, what empty calories are you ready to swap today? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you next time.